Yo guys, what's up? Super special video today, and Clay.com has completely changed how companies run marketing and sales. What used to take months now take days, probably. What used to cost thousands of dollars is now free. If you're still using outdated and inefficient lead generation strategies, or worse, if you already switched to Clay.com and the new AI sales tools but still can't land clients consistently, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to reveal my 3 best strategies that worked for me in 2025. From market analysis to a breakdown of the tech stack and even the templates to turn strangers into clients. If you don't have 25 videos, well, I'm sorry for you. I learned everything the hard way, putting in hundreds of hours. If you can't spare 25 minutes to start getting results, I don't know what will. This is not something I copied from others or read on LinkedIn. These are 3 insider tactics I learned in Silicon Valley while consulting for the fastest growing companies in the world. Let's dive into it. And by the way, guys, if you don't know me, I'm the #1 go-to-market engineering advisor in the world with over 900 students, consulting the fastest growing B2B companies and the highest number of testimonials in the entire Clay and go-to-market engineering ecosystem. I'm the author of the Amazon bestseller, The Go-to-Market Engineer, and I'm working with companies like Appcue, Teramind, Vidyard, Procore, HeyReach, Isendu, SingleGrain, etc. I've helped dozens of people in starting their own go-to-market engineering career and hit 6 figures in income. More information on clayoperator.com. Guys, now let's jump into the video because I have really something special today. And there's a lot of bad advices online, I think, that they don't really take into consideration specific situations. They just talk to everybody in a super vague way and they don't really go into details. So today I want to do the opposite. Basically, I have divided this training into 3 different strategies that they appeal to a different kind of company so you can understand where to go according to your situation. Okay. One is about selling to SMBs. What actually works in selling to SMBs when you have like a large market made of a big TAM, okay? When you are selling to enterprises, so maybe you're only selling to 500 companies in the world, but you sell something like super expensive. And when you are working in a company that already has assets and inbound and traffic, okay? Most of the times you can have both, you can have one of these. Most of the time it's a combination of these, but this if applied in the right way, it's a total game changer. Let's start from the first one. In the first one, I'm assuming you are a B2B company, you sell to a big market of 10,000 plus companies, you're willing to put the hours to test what works. This is mandatory. This, by the way, is mandatory for any kind of marketing experiment, but just saying, right? And for example, in this case, let's assume that you are a marketing agency and you're selling advertising to all the e-commerces in the United States with over 1 mil in revenue. There are, I think, hundreds of thousands of possible customers this way. This is the perfect scenario. How does it work? I'm a huge advocate when you are in a large market to actually use heavily automations. So in general, guys, the bigger is your market and the more you can actually afford to use automations, right? And test fast because you have a lot of people you can talk to. And usually the ACV, the average contract value, so how much costs the stuff that you sell, is low. So you can't afford to actually bring in a lot and expensive salespeople. Okay, so here automation really works. What I usually suggest here is really trying to map the entire market. I know it's not easy, but with Clay.com is actually easy. Trust me, because in Clay.com literally you can start from store leads, and you can get probably 1 mil of different e-commerces if you're selling to e-commerces. And of course, for all these 3 strategies, Yeah, maybe they are doable without Clay.com, but with Clay.com everything is so easy and so fast that it's a no-brainer. Okay? Coming back to this, so what I'm saying is map the entire market, map your TAM, then refine the list, use agents such as Clayagent to actually figure out if the companies you're selling to are really e-commerces and really in your ICP and they are really running ads, for example. How can this be done? Easy. In Clay.com actually it's pretty easy. You can do like e-commerce platform, Shopify, country, United States, and the number of results, 100, submit, and literally in a couple of clicks we can actually get a lot of e-commerces all over United States. Okay, let's check what results we have. We have the Shopify subscription, we have the domain, we have a lot of things. And let's say that I really want to make sure it's an e-commerce. I can use Clayagent and say something like GPT-4o. Clayagent is a live version of GPT for the people who don't know. For domain, try to figure out if this is really an e-commerce with a checkout or no. Just return true or false. Okay, true or false. Save, run the rows, and we can actually get all the results at scale, basically. Okay. Bingo, and now we refined our list. Then next we can get all the people. Again, it's another button inside of Clay. To go more in specific into this, check all my other tutorials about Clay, especially the one from zero to beginner. Then you can find all the B2B contacts and you can actually test value proposition at scale. So I'm a huge advocate of mapping the entire team, making sure it's the right market, getting all the people, getting all the B2B information, and from there really testing only the value proposition at scale. And in particular using this template. Body, minimal personalization, if I could, generate text result, unique system, social proof, would you be interested in speaking, regards. That's it, okay? So I would test at scale value propositions over a big market. What I would do in particular is mapping my entire team and creating 6 different value propositions per time, like one value proposition about creating better creativities, one about lowering ad cost, one about increasing margin, one about whatever. Come up with at least 6, put them into SmartLead. SmartLead is this amazing email sending tool that can be connected to Clay, and test at scale 500 emails per value proposition. When you find one value proposition that is generating at least one interest at over less than 250 cents, bingo. Bring the value proposition and scale it over 1 million records. I will try to repeat. We are selling to a huge market. Okay? We map the entire team, we get all the people, we come up with 6 different value propositions. We only use one cold email template. We use Clay plus SmartLead for efficiency. When we find something that, for example, we send 500 emails and we get 3 interested, it means we are getting 1 interested over 166 cents. Once we figure this out, we just bring, let's say the total list is 50,000 companies, but we know that every 166 we get 1 interested. We already know that we will get 300 replies. Okay? This is the power of testing value proposition at scale, especially when you're working in a very big team. Okay? Second, you can send even lead magnets at scale. This usually works very well. So instead of saying, if I could generate X result, unique system, would you be interested in speaking? You can actually say, Can I send you over an internal video where we helped competitor lower ad spend by 50% only using new AI creativities? So instead of asking for a meeting, we actually promise a piece of information that helps the customer to go from a position A to another B. Okay? The more targeted the lead magnet, the more qualified people you will get. With this kind of approach, you can even get one interested over 60 cents. When someone reply, yes, I'm interested, you deliver the video. In the video, there's a call to action. You move the contact to a cold caller that will cold call the hand raiser. Okay? Third, if you have one SDR or a team of SDRs, I strongly suggest to use cold calls too, especially if the ACV is big enough, because if the ACV is like 3K, to do cold calls makes no sense. If the ACV, so the average contract value, how much your staff sell, is expensive basically, is like 30K, makes a lot of sense. Create a list with Clay. If you have done the exercise, you should already have the list. Get all the numbers and make the SDRs only to cold call. You put them into nugs, you already have the list, and make them do like 300 cold calls per day. Leveraging AI, Clay, smartly to send value proposition at scale and lead magnets, plus nugs to actually book directly a lot of meetings is probably the recipe to actually win the SMB market. Okay? Which is totally different than when you're selling to enterprises or you're selling to your top 100 accounts. Maybe you can do both, right? Let's say that you are an agency, you work both with SMB and enterprises. You should have your list of SMBs and you should have a top 100 dream account list. How can you approach the dream account list? So for this example, I'm assuming you're a B2B company. You sell to a small market, like less than 500, ideally 100 companies. You're willing to put the hours to test what works. Ideally, you need a full-time SDR in your team because there's a lot of manual work involved, even if we can and we will use personal automation. Okay? Basically, the trick here is this. When you're selling to enterprises, there are a gazillion of people trying to actually get a meeting with those VPs. A meeting with an enterprise company in 2025 is probably worth 3K, maybe 4K, okay? So it's extremely difficult to actually get a meeting with them. If you go to an event, to actually talk with decision makers, like there are events that charge 30K for, I don't know, 15 B2B meetings. Okay, this is the level of the game. Okay, and you should manage it in this way with this kind of expectation. Okay, having said this, what I really found successful, and I have a couple of very good friends that are the head of sales development, sorry guys, in pretty successful companies selling to enterprises, is actually gathering information from manager, director, rever to actually reaching out to VPs and CXO. And the good news is that we can automate this. Basically, to reach out to these people, we can't really use triggers. We can't really use normal outbound strategies because they are getting 1,000 cold emails per day. But what we can do is, and this is genius, in my opinion, you can actually reach out to employees who just left the company asking for what are the key initiatives inside the X company, get the 2 pieces of information and actually prospect for an entire day the same account with these 2 pieces of information. I will repeat. Let's say that I want to break into apple.com, okay? Find the people, job title, seniority, partner, C-suite, VP, director, company, Clay, Sorry, Apple.com. Huge enterprise, right? $1 trillion, blah, blah, blah. Okay, continue. Import to new table. Bam. Now what we can do, we can actually use a agent that asks, is this person really working at Apple? And we have all the LinkedIn profile. And of course, now they are working at Apple, but if we make this agent to run every single day, in 3 months, I'm pretty sure that at least 10-15 people will change job, because they are 6,000 people. And we already know that in 1 year, 20-30% of the workforce will change job. So we can create an automated playbook that contact people changing companies, saying something like, hey man, from salesman to salesman or from VP to VP, I'm trying to break into Apple. I saw you left a month ago. Are there any key initiatives or problems you remember? It will really make my day. And this very simple message can be automated, and most of the times people who left the company are really willing to actually share this information, especially if they are salespeople, because they are basically in your same situation. And that's it, basically. Okay. Let's check again how to do this with clay.com. Again, find all the people inside of apple.com. Then you can use ClayAgent, configure, GPT-4. LinkedIn profile. Try to figure out if this, where is this person working, in which company is working right now, only the most recent experience, return the domain of the company, only URL, save, run 10 rows. Okay. And the cool part here is the email change, the job title change, the LinkedIn URL doesn't change. Okay. So if some of this says another information with respect to apple.com, or it's an error, or they really changed job. And this is very cool. Okay. Actually, we can actually find some false positive, but we can simply use Clay to actually double check. For example, this is actually at Apple, and we can make this to, this one to run on a schedule and run daily. So we can actually get daily or monthly or weekly. I think the one that makes more sense is monthly, because otherwise it's expensive. And monthly we can actually get if people are changing job. If there are false information, no problem. We can get the job changes and double enrich them with LinkedIn to only filter the one that really makes sense. Okay? And this is your enterprise go-to-market, basically. Third one is the outbound or inbound, outbound, whatever. This works if you're a B2B company, if you have an inbound traffic, if you have inbound traffic and website visitors, if you're selling to both enterprises or SMBs, and you're willing to put the hours to test what works. Ideally, you need a full-time SDR in your team. Okay, again. This basically works in leveraging the website traffic or the newsletter subscribers of a company. Let's say that I'm a big company, I'm getting a lot of web traffic with Clay, and especially leveraging Clay plus RB2B, which is this company here. I'm actually able to identify 70-80% of your website traffic, North America and Canada only. Okay? So I can basically use Outbound to retarget my website visitors. So instead of actually prospecting cold audiences, I'm prospecting warm, hot audiences. Okay? Instead of doing retargeting ads, I'm doing outbound, which is way more effective most of the times. Okay? How can I do this? Easy. I can install RB2B inside of your website and create a webhook that sends everything to Clay. I have a dedicated video about this. I think it's called the most profitable lead generation strategy out there. Check that on YouTube. And you will get all the results here. Then you can figure out if they are ICP or not. You can enrich them, you can enrich the website, you can enrich the person, you can enrich the company, and then you can set filters such as only the ones where the company has more than 100 employees and based in US and the Director Plus in terms of job title. If so, then send a Slack notification with the email, the phone number, and send an email to the business developer to reach out immediately because it's a warm visitor, maybe visiting the pricing page. Okay? Guys, hope it helps. I hope you understand like the difference between talking about like the bullshit about the AI agency or the that kind of TikTok funnel and what actually works in real life, right? These are not things that I just come up with to make this YouTube video. These are things that are working and I made a YouTube video on it. Okay? This is the big difference. I think, right? And by the way, guys, I know that Clay and go-to-market engineering is overwhelming, complicated. I did a lot of things in the video. We moved fast because it's more of a strategic video. But if you check the first link in the description of this YouTube video, you have 100 plus free training where you have one-to-one tutorials, you have the Clay flow, you have copy and paste templates. So it's really a copy and paste of everything that I said and it can be applied immediately. So go there, download all of them, they are all free. And if you want to become a go-to-market engineer, book a call. If you are a B2B company and you want outbound or go-to-market engineering implementation, likewise, book a call, let's chat, and let's see if it is a fit. Cool, guys. Having said that, thanks so much, and see you in the next video.